Paddock.
Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You look so good. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
thank you.
Are you in Michigan?
I am in New York.
Oh, wait, I didn't know you lived in New York now.
I moved on July 9th.
Wow.
Wow.
Are you like
That's
in
such
the
a specific day, July 9th.
Yeah, I've got to remember the day.
Wait, it's like the T Swift song "Last Kiss." If anyone gets that reference.
Wow.
She mentions July 9th in that song. I know somebody will get it.
The fact that I haven't had it on repeat and I didn't make that connection, and I call myself a Swiftie.
Cooper's listening. He'll get it.
Yeah. Somebody will get that reference.
I made a mental note that Taylor Swift has released 5 albums since we played All Stars.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Get a life, Taylor. Come on, stop recording so much music. You should like Survivor or something.
It was the Pandy.
Have you used all those albums to like go through the 5 stages of grief since your vote out?
Oh, I mean, it's really good that Folklore and Evermore came out shortly after. All the feels.
All the feels. Like you mentioned in your exit, in your like the exit confessional, like you'd won 2 games.
Oh yes. I have not won any since. And those were weekend games. I think I've won a total of 4 days of Survivor, and Survivor Michigan 4 days is week 1.
Those are more intense.
That's more days
right?
than I've won. You know.
The pace is so different. It's really interesting. Survivor Michigan, you can see even every episode, while they're strategizing who to vote out, like you have so much more time to analyze every single angle and the repercussions of your decisions, more than like in these weekend games that I've played a lot of. Those are like, people don't have time to like think ahead, and that's like I think part of why I can get through quicker.
Just cause the chaos and nobody has time to figure it out.
Causing chaos, Sam. I think you were talking about the wrong person here.
No, I don't like chaos. I don't deal with chaos.
Yeah. Sam's like gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. You know that by heart.
Yeah, I think should we start this out with an apology, Sam? Like I feel like you're low key the reason, you know.
Oh man,
with the little bird in Tom's ear that you got out.
It's actually so upsetting that ended up happening, because I was hoping that like, you know, Cooper or somebody would like be negatively impacted by Tom, like not Emily, like Emily, who I had an alliance with her and Will. Like, come on, Tom, you know, couldn't you throw somebody else under the bus? Very sad.
Good move on Tom's part. Of everybody within the tribe, everyone bought it. You know, I do not think that would have been the case if he said any other name.
You know, I guess he should have either not said anything or like successfully thrown somebody under the bus. But like to what happened, you know, just kind of a worst case scenario. Like, come on, we can't lose Tom and Emily. Can we just like lose one of them and like the other person stays? Like, yeah, sad.
That's right.
I don't know. There seemed to be though, like I seemed in the episode like there's a lot of movement into this plan to get rid of Andrew.
Yes, Nick is a big driver of that. He really realizes that Andrew's the least connected to him on the tribe, and he'd be way better off trying to work with me, Sarah, and Bailey, Nick and his girls. But I don't think me and Bailey were never on the same page. I don't think we had a single one-on-one meeting, and it wouldn't have made sense for her to want to get on board to save somebody who she hadn't built a game relationship with. And like, we can say all these things, but like, we can also look at like how much effort we were all putting in to who.
What about though? Like, I mean, it seemed like there was a potential of like, oh, what if it's 3 and 3, 3 on Andrew, 3 on Emily? Like, you know that Cooper is not going to go to Rocks. You know that Bailey's not going to go to Rocks. You know, like, who knows what happens?
Nick has said to me since the game that the thing he regrets the most is not tying up that vote, because he thinks Bailey would have swapped on a revote, similar to what happened in your tribal. But you always take people's after games what ifs with a little bit of a grain of salt, right? Because it's like, why would you change anything?
Yeah,
if you made it further.
Yeah.
That's true.
Gosh, can you imagine if there were 2 of those Samuel Tech votes, 2 3 threes,
3 threes?
Oh
like, do we go to Rocks? Do we not go to Rocks?
Could we just have a
Uh-huh.
3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Right?
all I
Mhm.
wanted.
Yeah.
Have you played any other like mini Survivor games post All Stars?
I have played way too many. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. It's a disease. Those of us who are afflicted have to manage it periodically and get our fix. I have played Survivor Brooklyn South 3
Okay.
times since.
Wow.
Yeah, those are 1-day minis that start at 7 a.m. and go until whenever. And then I played another Survivor Buffalo. I played their All-Star season this summer.
Nice.
And then
Yeah.
keep going.
Sorry, I feel like I've seen all these. I feel like I've like been added to these groups like to help you win an immunity
Yeah.
challenge or something like
Yes,
that. So like now
absolutely.
I
I'm
now
like,
I
there
see.
goes
Ooh,
Emily
Emily's playing another
again.
game. Yeah, see how she
I'll-
does.
I randomly add my friends to Facebook
Mhm.
groups. I spam Instagram posts. I'm like, vote for me to win this because that's how competitive I am. Every challenge, you see it in Survivor Michigan, every challenge put in front of me is a challenge that I want to win, and I'll do anything to try to win it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like it's honestly a pretty good way to make friends. Like, do you make a lot of friends through these things?
No, I have no friends. Didn't you see the episode? No. You do make a lot of friends on them, but it's like you don't have as much in common necessarily as people in real life. So
Right.
I try to live as much as I can in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's harder to bond in a day than it is over a semester. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Survivor trauma bonding is real.
True.
That's true.
It is
That's
so
true.
real.
Mhm.
You wouldn't think that a game that's designed to have you manipulate, lie to, and then backstab your friends would like make those friendships stronger,
Mm-hmm.
but they really are.
Yeah, it somehow does.
Survivor
Yeah.
Michigan, you could probably place a bet on how many people's weddings will have Survivor Michigan people in the parties.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Oh, I'm sure.
100%.
you get tight. I mean,
Mhm.
Will is like one of my best friends in the world. I would die for
Yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
I saw Will just a couple weeks ago. I drunkenly, after a few mojitos, told him that I would in fact kill for him if he asked me.
I love that. He asked you, Emily, would you kill for me? Just tell me to be honest. Be
No,
honest with me, Emily.
Yeah,
did-
Emily would be
he
getting
did
out the body
ask.
bag. You know.
Gotta borrow
Emily,
Cooper's.
We'd be hiding in the bushes with Tom, ready to stab you
yes.
as you
Tom-
walk out the door outside of Cooper's house.
I think Tom would absolutely sign up for that mission.
Mhm.
So
That's
I'm
when
curious.
Tom would follow me.
I'm curious
That's-
about Will. What was going on with your alliance with Will during All Stars? Because it seemed like at some points you're like, oh, like I would cut Will in an instant. But also like you're seen with Will and having some alliances with him. Like, what was going on with that?
Yeah, so I saw Will as a potential handicap to my game because of how close we were in season 3. I didn't have a lot of connections on a close like social level with people in the game other than Will. And when people see that, they know that Emily's always going to choose Will over me. And so I made the choice before the game that I'm actually not going to do that. And I will cut people, whatever. I don't care. It's going to be like a game. You know, you sit down every once in a while, put out a game of Monopoly. You know, you lay out the board, you take out the cards, everyone picks their piece, and then you roll the dice. When the game's over, after you've run around go a few times and screwed each other over, you put the board away, you put it in a box, and maybe you play again later.
Jeff Probst would have loved that right now. He would be dying if he just heard that at the Tribal Council.
You're right. Somebody phone him. I've been trying to get his attention.
Wild. Okay, where should we start in this episode? I feel like we've been jumping around.
We're bouncing all around. We need to have some cohesion here.
Too much ADHD in one
Yeah.
call.
For real.
I guess just like even starting out the season, you were pretty happy with your tribe, right? Because Sarah G's like in your tribe. Like I feel like everyone was pretty happy about it.
Absolutely. Sarah and I went to the final 2 in a weekend game together, and like that quick exposure to us, to each other's playing styles showed us how well we could work together.
Yeah.
And she's just like such a bright, extraordinary badass of a woman that like I of course wanted to try to do that again. Also on our tribe we had Cooper, who King Cooper. You know, he hosted 3 seasons of Survivor Michigan, one of the most connected people there are. He's insanely smart. This guy's in like risk management potentially. He's fun to be around. A few times before the season, we had sat and like talked, debriefed my weekend games. He was very interested in that, and that made me feel valued and seen in a way that like not a lot of people are able to do.
Or was he just digging for info on how you played?
He might have been. I mean, I was also kissing his ass. I would have gotten right up to the butthole if I could.
The little of his ass that existed, right? Like you
The
said.
little ass. Yes, I love roasting Cooper.
If that was a fear pong card, would you have kissed Cooper's ass?
Yes. Yes, I would have.
Would you have licked Cooper's foot?
Okay, that's actually the only dare that came up that I was like, I don't think that I could have done that. Like,
really?
See, Bailey licked your foot. Was it you? Like in like so
she licked
so quickly.
My whole foot.
She did like no pause at all. She was completely chill with it.
When I watched the episode, it was like I kind of like felt it again. It was like memory recall instant.
Oh no.
Wait, okay, didn't the card say you could lick the top or the bottom? Like, who would choose the bottom?
I know.
Over the top. That's my question.
Yeah, I think like all your sweat glands are down there.
I think whoever chooses fear on Kevin's poll would have chosen the bottom.
Yeah. That is pretty fearful.
Fear factor.
Mm-hmm.
The feet factor. Yeah. Also, you want to go back to analyzing the tribe? I do.
Yes, sorry.
Yes. Let's go to that.
We had Nick, who should have won season 2. You guys. We could talk about that anytime.
Don't get us started.
Actually,
Well, we've never had this conversation before. What are you talking about?
Nick season 2 doesn't ring a bell. No.
He's like this perfect mix of sweet and salty, like ice cream, like on a beach or something.
Like Sour Patch.
Oh, Sour
Patch
Patch.
Kid.
Which color Sour Patch is Nick?
Blue.
I was gonna say blue.
The best
yeah.
one.
It is the best. That makes sense. That means Mallory's what, red?
And also cerulean.
Oh, Mallory's red.
Cerulean.
Mallory's red because she got all the Ohana votes.
Yeah, oh,
yeah.
OT. Nick, he's this like very charismatic, logical game bot, but also just like icon in a way.
Yeah.
That I was very excited to see him on my tribe, but also nervous because that meant right away a big player that like you see Cooper and Nick on the same tribe, and that's a lot of strategy in one place.
Yeah.
Seeing Bailey, I kind of, like a lot of people in the season, I kind of paired her up with Nick automatically, much to his chagrin.
Yeah, he's like, I want to be paired with Sarah. Why do you keep pairing me with Bailey?
Why? Oh, we didn't really talk much in the game. She's an absolute doll. But it's interesting. I thought my thought, Bailey, why are you talking more to the people in the other tribe than to the people on your tribe? Like,
just hearing it in passing. Don't worry about it. It's just in passing. This is in passing.
Just
Emily.
in passing.
People are just like passing her by the street and whispering things into her ear and walking her away.
Genuinely could think she's on sangria from watching the footage. Andrew, we paired him up with Cooper. You know, live across the street.
Because they live, yeah.
Yeah, he might barge in when somebody's saying that they want to vote him out. He might barge in on the porch. You never know.
Guys, that was so good.
I know, he like sat in the middle of them. Like, what's up, guys?
Nick looked so awkward.
Nick hated it more than anything.
Is this a hot take? I think Andrew's timing sitting on the bench could potentially be what saved him. Cooper didn't have Nick didn't have the time to talk more about Andrew because he's there.
I think Nick really did prefer to vote off Andrew instead of you. I mean, he really would have wanted to convince either Cooper or Bailey to do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure why Cooper was having all these meetings outside. Because like anyone could.
Where everyone can see it.
Especially Andrew.
Especially Tom if he's in the bushes.
Yeah.
We're watching Cooper in HD.
Right.
There's actually a line that goes around the block that everyone's just waiting for their allotted Cooper time.
Yeah, he has like the one like super nice camera too. I think it must be like Ian's camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a mic and everything.
So all of a sudden it's like 4K Cooper vision.
Right.
Yeah, Cooper and Ian, they're not dating, but they're like closer than dating.
Exactly.
And there was no production leaks there.
Mm-hmm.
True. How did you feel about like when the news got out? What I was confused about is that it seemed like it didn't actually spread as much as I thought it would.
I don't want to say it surprised me that much because before I didn't really talk to them that much before the season, and I kept just saying, "Oh, they're probably dating anyway,"
Right?
because I wasn't close enough to know that they'd broken up.
Yeah, so like it wasn't that big of a deal to you.
Yeah. More of the big deal is like watching Abby come on in and do her tour.
That was something.
That was hilarious. I remember production just going crazy when that happened. Like all the messages that they popped up, I was like, oh, I do remember this. Because everyone was freaking out and just like didn't know what to do. And obviously it was really bad for the gameplay. But I guess it didn't really.
From Kansas City, like what the hell is going on there? What the hell are you guys gonna do? Yes, and it was like such a weird situation because like how are you supposed to punish Abby? Or how are you supposed to like not let her do this? You know, like there's nothing they can really do about it.
It's just more so information control, like from our end, from the production's end. But it didn't really affect your game at all, Emily. I feel like that whole situation, or do you think it did?
No, it definitely didn't. More just like I think I approached the game from like a fairness standpoint and just like wanting it to be as fair, especially when you have an all-star season that things are not going to be on a level playing field. It's going to be like a lot of pre-gaming, which we all participated in. And those who say they didn't are liars.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that thought actually.
I feel like that thought is fine on its own.
It's gone.
Yeah, it was there. No, I have a question about the Fear Pong challenge. I feel like I remember this being like one of the first time. This is near your 21st birthday, right?
Oh, was it?
It was slightly before.
Okay.
But yes, I definitely. The Adawa tribe heard that it was a Fear Pong challenge, and we decided that you can't play beer pong sober. And so behind the scenes tidbits, Adawa had a pre-challenge party at Cooper's in Cooper's basement where we pre-gamed the challenge, and I had my very first shot of vodka with the Adawa tribe.
No way. How was your experience, your first vodka experience?
I think I screamed.
Did you do the whole thing at once, or was it like a half?
I did the whole shot, and then I was like, do you have any juice? He didn't.
Was it your first shot of alcohol ever, or just vodka specifically?
Specifically vodka.
Okay.
I'd had like mixed drinks before, but never a shot.
Okay. Oh.
What was your first shot?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my first shot.
Was that Cooper's basement before the immunity challenge?
Cooper owes me a shot for this.
He does. Cooper, we know you're listening. Hit up Paddock about this. Owe her a shot.
Y'all are both in New York, so.
Yep. No excuse.
Wow.
The only member of the Adawa tribe I haven't now analyzed for you yet is Tom.
Yes. Let's hear your thoughts on Tom.
I love your analysis of Tom.
We need to hear about Tom.
I love Tom. On season 4, the first day of season 4 production, we had like 25 production members show up for this intro of season 4. And Tom comes running in, this little nerd, like 30 minutes early, cycling around the diag, and like, we're like, that's one of the players, right? And Brady's like, no, that's just a weirdo. No, it was Tom.
Aww.
And from that just moment of seeing his nervous, excited energy, I just loved him.
Yeah.
And I can't help but like root for him. So actually when the applications were out for All Stars, I initially was not planning on applying. I hadn't really been super involved in the group past season 4. I stopped production partway through because I got busy, but I wasn't going to apply, but Tom was pre-gaming like crazy, and he called me 3 times in 2 weeks before applications even closed, and was talking about game and how me, him, Will, Sam, we were going to be the 4. We were going to run it. Like, you need to apply. And so Tom pre-gamed. He gamed me to get me to apply.
No way.
And thank
Wow.
you, Tom. I
Thank
had
you,
a
Tom.
blast.
Wow.
It was so fun to play with such a passionate, crazy motherfucker.
Oh my gosh. I didn't
Love
know
that.
that.
Yeah. Love Tom.
Wow, he was working overtime.
He was.
Tom, I bet you he has just as much footage as whoever's in the Final 4.
I'm sure. I mean, even in the live chat today, everyone was still talking about Tom. There were still so many comments about him.
Justice for Tom.
Justice for Tom
should be on every season of Survivor Michigan. And the question is, will he make it past episode 2?
Oh,
I would love to see it.
I think we gotta do a Faluke kind of thing with Tom, where he just like gets injected into the game at the merge, and then he's just like automatically on the jury, and then he gets like immunity for like 5 rounds.
That should be like an advantage, like somebody, or like a disadvantage. I don't know. Like maybe, like, you know, the beware advantage. The beware advantage is now Tom is your number 1 ally.
Ooh, what does that mean?
It is an
Tom gets injected into the game, and then like if you don't vote the same way Tom does, then you're voted out. Then you're like instantly eliminated.
So you have to get him to vote the way you want him to vote.
And then also, if Tom is voted out, then you're also voted out.
Oh my god!
Tied to Tom.
That's hilarious. I would love to see that disadvantage.
Yeah.
That honestly sounds like something Big Brother would do. I don't know why.
We could, speaking of Big Brother, we could put Tom on a coach's season. He could coach a tribe.
Yes. Oh yeah. There needs to be like a season 39 Island of the Idols, but it's just like Tom.
A big Tom statue.
And he has like a huge influence on the game.
I think like Tom and Lavana, I feel like for some reason are calling to me as the 2 idols.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds right. That sounds right.
Didn't they also like hide in the booth while people were voting? I could
Tom could hide in the bushes. He'd bring a bush with him. He'd bring the bush outside Cooper's house with him to the tribal council area and hide inside it.
But then like you just hear him shouting out random names for the people to vote. You're like, why is that bush shouting out like, vote Megan, vote Megan! No, actually, vote Jack, no.
I got a text from Tom actually yesterday. He says, to be honest, I thought it was kind of funny how everyone was talking about being so intimidated by Leia.
So Tom wasn't intimidated by Leia?
No, Tom's not intimidated by Leia at all.
Leia doesn't know who he is.
Tom and Leia have an interesting relationship.
They're both not intimidated by each other, definitely.
But also, yeah.
Didn't Tom leave a Ohio State T-shirt on Leia's porch?
Yeah,
he did. He gave her a nice gift.
Leia, that's like the number 1 way to piss her off.
I think Leia already has a body bag with Tom's name on it.
You know what? That's probably why when we interviewed him, it was all dark.
He was in the body bag. He's in Leia's body bag?
Exactly. He was allowed like 2 seconds out of the body bag to interview.
But he's not intimidated at all. Not even a little bit.
He's in Wisconsin now.
Yeah, he just did a road trip over there, I think like last week.
Damn.
Well, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I thought it was funny how Sarah G was like so not about talking super like long about Survivor strategy, whereas like you and Cooper were. It's just interesting because like you were close to Sarah, but like you have very different like strategizing styles.
I'm very much like, I want to shoot out all the thoughts, all the angles. What is gonna stick here? Does any of it make sense? And Sarah's very much like, what do I want? Let's do that. We don't need to talk the rest.
Yeah. Was it kind of hard to like work with her in that sense, or was it still like whatever?
I think it was definitely harder in Survivor Michigan to play like that than when we played in the shorter games. because I could talk her in circles forever if she let me. And she did not have time for that. She's in grad school.
Yeah.
Girl's got a degree to get.
Wait, what was she studying in grad school? I forgot.
Let's not quote me, but I want to say
People
social
magnets.
work.
Ah.
No,
cool.
wait, no, public health.
Public health. Oh, okay. My friend did that too. Okay.
I thought she was studying people magnets.
What is that?
It's when you put people's faces on magnets and put them on a whiteboard and move them all around.
Arts and crafts with Sarah.
Arts and crafts.
Exactly. I thought she was an art student.
It seemed like she lost her whiteboard this episode though, because she was just holding up the photos, no whiteboard.
I wonder if it was like on the desk in front of her and she's like pulling them off.
Yeah.
Every time my face came up, I had like my heart skip a beat. I was like, uh-oh, is Sarah gonna say that it's time for me to go?
No, Sarah sounded like she was really upset that she voted you off and didn't tell you about it.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, I'm confused.
It was a bad move for Sarah.
Could you guys elaborate on what happened? Because I feel like there was a lot of like misdirection. I think some of the fans were also confused. I did not know it was going to be a unanimous vote onto you. There was nothing signaling that. So I was just confused how that happened.
As far as my knowledge, it came down to a meeting right before Tribal with Andrew, Sarah, and Cooper, where they said, Sarah, like, it's going to happen. You have to tell Nick it's going to happen. And Sarah goes, okay.
So she didn't fight?
Well, Sarah doesn't necessarily fight in Survivor.
That's true.
There are fighters and there are those who wait for their opportunity, more calculated. And I think Sarah's a little more calculated, and she's not going to stick her neck out for somebody else.
Yeah, she's not really a chaos causer as of yet, I feel like.
That's true.
She wants to go with the flow more.
See, where I think, well, often in Survivor, the players that are putting too much out early do burn. Like you see Sam, you are getting caught in so much trouble in these couple episodes, and you were dishing it all out for yourself, but you recovered. Jealous.
Do you think that if she had fought for you more, there was any way she could have saved you?
I do think I've thought since that I don't really blame anyone for my vote out. Sam's apologized to me for it. Cooper's apologized to me for it. Tom's apologized to me for it. I don't think like there's anyone to blame, but I think that if there's anyone who made the worst move, it's Sarah. And it wasn't just that voting me was the bad move. It was not trying to fight, because when you fight for an ally, people also know that you're loyal to your allies.
No, exactly. And something I noticed was that I think when Cooper and Andrew were talking, they were saying how like out of the two pairs, they thought Sarah would be less mad if she lost you. And that's why it's so important when you have an ally to like make it known that like y'all are unbreakable. Like,
yes,
you know, it's like a package deal. It's like when you have like something like that, it's easier for people to target you because they're like, yeah, they won't be as mad. So like,
there's only so much cooperation that can happen if you're not going to entangle your game a little bit. But there's also, because if she didn't do that, she was able to escape the Tom and Sam under the bus lie. Because like, if maybe she was more of a fighter, people would be like, oh, did Sarah know that Emily tried to save Tom? Which she didn't. But I kind of did try to save Tom in that meeting. Just sitting there with Sarah and Cooper extra long was my attempt to save Tom, because I didn't want to vote Tom.
Yeah.
But yeah,
another cat. Yeah.
I do remember talking with Sarah about this specifically after it happened, and I feel like it was a similar conversation with the one I had with you, where she was very much accusing me, and I feel like she like kind of believed me, but really kind of like was like a little bit sus, or like I was like, yeah, like no, I mean I talked to Tom, but you know I didn't tell him he was going home. And she's like, okay, sure, like whatever you say, very much suspicious. So like, I don't know. I don't really know. It'll be an interesting thing to ask her, but I don't really think that she had a strong feeling either way about it from what I remember.
I don't know if Sarah believed that I did it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that she was more apt to, I think that she definitely did not think that you did it from what I remember. She was like, okay, either she was like, okay, Emily definitely did not do this. Either Sam did or nobody did, and Tom just was being paranoid and exploding for no reason.
Which could have been valid.
Which was valid, very believable, But I don't really know why. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was just like, I love Tom. I don't want Tom to get voted off unanimously. Like, that's so sad, Like,
no, I feel
Tom.
you. I'm there.
But if only there's a way that like we could have done that without like either of us being thrown under the bus. I feel like that would have been optimal.
Yes,
whatever.
we were trying. We were trying.
Maybe like a secret note slipped under his door. I feel like somebody in the Discord mentioned that. That would have been great.
Why couldn't Jackson have given him a fake idol? Like,
right?
Jackson,
right?
where you at?
Come on, Jackson. Like, season 4 supremacy.
You got to stick together. There's only so many of you.
I know.
Like, Tom, I know you think you're going out tonight, but don't even worry about it. I got another thing right here.
Don't even worry about. Oh my god, that was an exact.
That's
Jackson.
exactly what he talks like.
Ugh, I just had a brain aneurysm. Oh my god. Okay, guys, my friends all love Jackson, and I have to say that is so hard to listen to because this man, he's entertaining for sure. For sure. But guys.
Kids, mess with the rule, break the rules whenever you can.
I would tell every woman, run away.
It's so
Megan, what are you doing?
Yeah, Jackson and Megan are so different. It's insane. Like, how did that relationship work?
I like to think that she melted his heart a little, the ice around his heart.
Yeah.
She brought him some love.
His heart.
I can see that
3 times or whatever.
Yeah, he would have hit 50 fake
like
idols, but Megan softened his heart and he only hit 18 instead.
Exactly.
Do we know the exact number? Because I feel like it keeps changing. Some people say 18, some people say 16. Like, I feel like he even says, does he even know how many idols he hit?
I think he forgot. He's hit a lot.
Yeah,
he forgot.
Now, do we think he beated them himself, or did he just order them from Amazon?
I like to think that he beated them himself. We should have gotten a crafts with Jackson while he was making them.
Right? I know.
George Jackson. Think of him just like arguing in like one of his law school classes while he's just beating. Like, no, I think that case was wrongly decided. I think that was a terrible implementation of the 14th Amendment.
They're like, Jackson, what are you doing? Don't worry about it.
Wasn't it so impressive how he transformed into Mr. Lawyer with the production
oh yeah chats? Like, I usually say cheating is fine, but this is misappropriating personal information.
Oh, that was golden. Oh my gosh, I would hire him in an instant.
Yeah, so yeah, you wouldn't want to work with him in the show, but like if you had Will kill somebody, and you got around travel for it.
I do have to pull. I'll probably have to pull Jackson in. That's right. He does. He would very much love to be my lawyer because he has no morals.
Right. And that's what you need.
Do you believe Jessie and that she says that Jackson gives her corporate lawyer defending child slavery vibes?
I mean, Jackson, what I agreed with that Jessie said is that Jackson's a don't trust in real life person.
Unless he's your lawyer, then you trust them 100%.
Unless he's my lawyer. Jackson, if you listen to this, please know I will hire you.
Yes.
Word.
Jack, what are these Discord questions?
Yeah, we got some questions from Discord for you here.
Oh, this is that kind of live?
Well, not like they're not listening in right now, but I'm typing in, hey, do you guys have any questions for Emily Paddock, the queen?
Oh, okay. Oof.
Oh, no, we're not live. We're not live. Don't worry.
I almost had a moment.
No, you're good. You can say whatever you want. Yeah, so I guess we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but first question is, like, do you regret voting out Tom, or do you think there's anything you could have done like differently to help save him that week?
If I could think of something, I would try it. I would go back in time and I would try it. I still wouldn't vote out Tom like easy. I don't think that would have been fun. I think I put a lot of time into talking to him. It would have been burning a relationship that I spent a lot of time to build. So, yeah, I would have tried to save him again. If it meant voting out anyone but Sarah, I would have tried to save him.
Gotcha. So Sarah was above Tom for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like so. Like, what were kind of like your loyalty rankings? Is it like is Sarah number one?
I'd say Sarah was my number one, and then on a level playing field, number 2-ish would have been Will and Sam and Tom. And that's the reason I say those 3 is because those are the 3 that I was honest with in the game the most consistently. The most consistently. So many qualifiers in Survivor. But those are the 3 people that it mattered to me that they knew what I was doing in my game.
Okay. So would you have taken Sarah to the end? Like, how loyal would you have been to her?
I mean, that's a far extension from this episode to the end. But I probably wouldn't have gone to the end with her again, truly. We went to the end together in a game and tied, and then she lost. I think the closer and closer I get in the single digits, the more and more fearful I would be of her cutting me first, and I'd probably cut her.
Gotcha. Oh, that would have been probably a really good episode. you versus Sarah. Like, who gets to the other person first?
Let's see. So someone else wants to know, why were you so gung-ho about working with Cooper, given his connections and how people were clocking him playing in the middle?
Why was I so gung-ho about working with Cooper? Cooper is
just like his smile.
I mean, my answer is along those lines. It's Cooper. It's the way he speaks to you. He's very inclusive and kind, and he makes you feel valued, and that like made me want to be around him. Even though like I know the way he plays the game is like on another level. I talked to him about it. It didn't intimidate me. I thought Cooper, if he was gonna snake me, it was gonna be obvious.
Okay.
Because this middle wishy-washing thing when you have to make a decision, I think you have to make the decision when your hand's forced, and nobody was trying to force Cooper's hand.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about with Cooper. Like, he's kind of scary in his confessionals, but then in person, he's not. He's like a teddy bear.
Yeah, no, Cooper, yeah. He has the survivor character that he plays as in confessionals, and then he has and then he's able to do that and still show up as himself in his alliance things. Yeah. Versus, like, you could see, to compare, like, how potentially to compare just like how much that skill can get you ahead. When Nick and I sat down, I'm sitting there intensely shooting all my ideas at him. He is not as receptive as that. As if I had been just like, hey, so maybe we could do this, like, whatever. Cooper does what do you think? Oh, what do you think?
No, I'm actually interested. Nick said that conversation was like the most intense Survivor conversation he had ever had. The one with you. I was like, what was this conversation that happened? Like, Nick is telling Cooper, like, that was so intense.
I had that desk in front of me, and I kept going, this is what's going to happen. Like, if we work together, if we don't work together. I think I was saying that if we voted out Andrew, me, Nick, and Sarah would be able to connect with our Sangria and Pawnee allies at a swap, and all 3 of us would be at a better position than we would be on a Dawa or a swap without the 3 of us, because of, like, we would have Sam, we would have Will, we would have potentially Emily B, Bree, Leia even loves Nick. Nick is very connected, but Nick didn't need me to do that, right? So I was trying to convince Nick that I would be loyal to him beyond anything that Cooper or Andrew could. And part of that was because I was like, I'm straightforward. I will tell you everything exactly as I'm thinking it. You know I'm intense, but I'll keep it going. I don't feel like I'm actually saying much here, but talking in circles.
No, that's good. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else were people asking? I guess, yeah, we were talking a lot about your experience of your like day-long games. Do you think like that ended up hurting you or helping you more? Like having won twice before this, would you think that was like good for you, or I maybe gave you some bad instincts? I don't know.
I think it was really good in the sense that I have done way more challenges than anyone in Survivor Michigan. I have won more challenges than anyone.
Even Jackson?
Even Jackson. Even Jackson. I could beat Jackson at anything. Right now, let's go.
Even at memorizing the 14th Amendment?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
Except for that.
Except for that.
That's the one. Jackson has that one thing.
Give us the 15th. We'll go.
Yeah, 15th for all game.
Easy.
But wait, what was the question?
If your experience helped you or hurt you.
Oh, I really do think it helped me. With challenges is one aspect that definitely helped me. I think it helped based on I had more of an idea of how people lie to you in Survivor. Often people say exactly like what they mean. You're exposing yourself more than anything, always projecting. When someone's talking about who they're working against and the traits of the person who's against them, listen, they're always going to be actually saying their own negative traits. It's always just a projection. And in Survivor, at least, I think.
Interesting.
Then you see all the time.
Yeah, that's why I don't like Sam as a podcast host, because he's like balding and like really annoying. I don't know.
Sam balding?
You're not balding, Jack.
He got a haircut.
Nah, I'm projecting.
Nah.
Oh shoot, there's something I was gonna say.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
I'm almost there. Oh, when people talk.
Shut up.
When people talk in Survivor, when they lie, people will like shake their head no when they don't, like when they're disagreeing with what they're saying. Sometimes you can see it like even in the episodes.
Really?
It's like it's little things like that, body language, I think. Like when you're exposed to people lying to you constantly, you know what lying looks like.
That's a really good skill to have.
Except for if it's Sam Morris gaslighting you. In that case, he will go through every detector. He could have a gun in his pocket. It will not be seen.
That's honestly kind of scary. I'm kind of scared of Sam now.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's in like a jail cell right
now.
Yeah, I've got to chill.
Are you like in jail right now?
For my crimes.
It's kind of
scary.
Past
3 episodes.
I feel like Sam would definitely get away with some murder, which is like the scary part.
I didn't murder those kids in Idaho. What are you talking about?
Shit.
And then somebody else? Stop it.
He's projecting.
I'm not projecting.
No, I didn't have any part in helping Sam. No,
I had no part in that. I had no part in that.
I think we shouldn't say anything else before we talk to Jackson.
Yeah, I'm going to need my lawyer present for the rest of this.
Who knew that would be the most like consistent bit in this podcast?
I know. Was there anyone like watching back the episodes that surprised you and like so like maybe someone you didn't know was like going so hard or like any info
my
you
gosh.
didn't know?
I'm so happy to see Adam right now because watching him in season 4, he was an absolute train wreck as production. We were watching his videos and we were always like, what the fuck is Adam doing? Like, what is going on? And then you see him now and like he is making alliances. He's finding his footing. He found an idol.
Found a real idol.
He found 2 fake idols, and that takes skill to find 3 things in your possession. He was looking for a while.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot more effort than I was putting in. Like I'm very proud of Adam right now. I'm excited to see him go as far as he can. Maybe he's going to win it. Who knows? You guys, actually, secret, I don't know what happens.
Really?
Between I know maybe 2 things total in the rest of the season because I wanted to stay unspoiled.
Honestly, Jack and I are like kind of unspoiled. Just because we have bad memories right now.
Just memory loss.
It's really just memory loss.
Yeah.
I'm also loving Leia. I always love Leia. That's why I gave her the idol clue. There was no strategy.
Yeah.
It was just,
I was gonna ask. That's another.
you just liked her. That was the reason.
I really liked Leia. I didn't want to give it to Will because he had told me like that week that he was I guess it's not shown yet. I'm not sure if this is a thing that like becomes a thing, but Will was working with Dylan and he was like telling him stuff, and he told me.
I think that just wasn't in the edit, but that was definitely before this week because
it was earlier.
Gone, so
Okay. So Will was working more with Dylan than I liked, and I told Will, we met in the chem building, and I was like, "Why are you working with Dylan? Like he's working with Aaron, and isn't Aaron like the only person you don't want to work with?" And Will was like, "Yeah, but like Will and I could have a secret alliance, like Devin and Dylan did." And I was like, "No," and so I couldn't give it to Will because just that right there, like you can only trust the people who you trust, who they trust.
Right.
And I know that Leia's a straight shooter and she wasn't going to be telling people working against me things necessarily. And it wasn't, she didn't share the clue with me. I didn't ask her to share the clue with me, but Leia's fucking cool. Leia should have all the idol clues and all the idols and all the advantages.
I agree.
That would be scary.
Except for the
Tom. I don't know. Tom wouldn't be intimidated at all. He would be like, I don't care.
So there was another thing. Oh, sorry.
No. I was gonna say, imagine Tom Leia final two. That would be so funny to me.
Amazing.
Split jury.
Well, I just wish we could see one interrogate the other on the jury. Like, that would have been amazing if like Tom was in the finals and Leia was on the jury.
I mean, we could just play hot seat with both of them.
Yeah. So what I did want to ask though is kind of address the elephant in the room. How different do you think the season would have been if Aaron wasn't on it? Do you think you would have been in a better spot? So I know that was a big current like theme was the beef between you two.
Yeah, that became me and Aaron's relationship became a big theme within the Survivor Michigan community after season 3. The Ben bomb kind of created like a rift that it seemed that from my perspective, Aaron wanted to be as big as possible. And when we were in the same spaces and challenges, trying to plan things for season 4, she would shoot daggers at me every time I say anything. She was hurt. You could see in this episode how Megan lied about personal relationships to Sam, and Sam was hurt because of it was a real relationship for him. In season 3, Aaron thought we were good friends, and I was manipulating the shit out of her. So she was naturally hurt. Yeah. And the repercussions in Survivor Michigan were intense. There was people picking sides, and I'd never been involved in something that intense. I took a step back partway through season 4 because I could not even be in the same room without just things feeling gross. And everyone's feelings were valid in the situation. I'm not gonna really go into that, but like with All Stars, I don't think you could have had an All Star season without either of us. Yeah. Not necessarily because of the drama, but like people leading up to All Stars couldn't shut up about us. They couldn't shut up. Who are you? Do you support Aaron? Do you support Emily? Whatever, like nonstop. Even if it wasn't like a narrative, I wanted to run my game. Yeah. And
would you have been willing to work with Aaron?
I, at one point, believe I said I would. I just think the wounds were too deep for that door to really open for her. Now I want nothing to do with her. I'll say it flat out. I don't. I apologized after season 3, but we never really had that kind of conversation where you sit down and talk. You know, you and Megan sat down and talked, and even though so you were very vulnerable, Sam, but Megan was giving you all these stock quotes, right? Aaron and I didn't have the chance to do any of the song and dance. We just went away. We closed the doors and kept them shut, and I think it's probably for the best.
Wow, you summed that up pretty well, honestly.
Yeah,
That was a
good.
really good summary. It's like everyone's feelings were valid. It just like didn't mesh. And
Yeah,
it's not meant to mesh. And
for me,
honestly, it kind of sucks that like everyone was so hung up over it. Like honestly, even to this day, it just like,
it became a really sour point within our community that
Mhm.
we didn't need that kind of energy. Like this is a group that should be inclusive. We should be celebrating each other as much as we can, no matter where we're going afterwards. So it sucks that season 3 did have that kind of rift. I'm glad the other seasons don't.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I asked some of the All Stars cast if they had any questions for you, and I got a few questions. First one from Ian Harris. Why did you believe Sam's lies about Tom?
I believe Sam's lies.
I was gonna ask this too.
I will believe anything that comes out of Sam Morris's mouth if he says it enough times.
Same.
I will look into those deep eyes. Are your eyes brown, Sam?
She doesn't even know.
I don't know. Actually, they're blue. Trust me on
blue.
this.
They're blue.
No, they're not.
They're blue.
They're green.
They're blue. They're so blue.
I would look into Sam's deep brown eyes, and he could lie to me for hours, and I'd be like, okay. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Scary.
One from Nicholas Selton.
Nicholas.
I personally want to ask why you trusted Cooper more than me originally.
Yes. So I trusted Cooper more than Nick because before All Stars, Cooper talked to me more. In that period of time between season 3 ending and season 5 beginning, Nick and I had like some mutual friends, but we didn't really talk one-on-one or like more than like, replying to Instagram stories, slay, fire, you're so cool, those kinds of things. I'm not sure if slay was a thing back then. It was probably like fierce. But yeah, I'd never talked Survivor with Nick.
Didn't have that relationship.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
I mean, honestly, in this game, it's the people who
our
talk
blue
to each
star
other.
Pesh.
Yeah, our blue star. The people who talk to each other the most, like, go far. Honestly, it's pretty consistent.
The extroverts have a leg up in Survivor.
Yeah. You have to put in the work. It's a lot of meetings.
Bree asks, and this one you don't have to do the whole thing because it could take a while. But she says, "I want your takes on the cast, just like Akshay did. If you're feeling spicy enough for it." I know you've given some takes already, so you can do whatever takes you want to do.
Guys, the notorious Akshay take on every single cast ever.
Wow,
absolutely iconic.
A hot take. I think Megan is flopping. I think the smiling, never stopping is getting really old, and the stock answers are not going to work. You have to give more.
So
she's not given what you want her to give.
Okay. Megan, you gotta sell. You gotta sell so I can buy.
Gotta sell. You gotta not let the producers tell Abby about your relationship. SMH, Megan. Come on.
Abby, oh my God. Let's talk about Abby. Love Abby. I love Abby. I love watching her come in. I love Abby's revenge tour. I love the spitefulness, the bitterness. It's perfect. Jesse. I love Jesse. Who knew that putting F you on or fuck you on a sign could get you a spot on All Stars, but I'm glad it did.
Got her a part-time player, right?
Part-time
according to Will.
Player. Will, I think Will is doing a dance. I really hope he can float. It's interesting. Will and Emily's. Will, what is your thing with Emily's?
True.
Yeah. Will just works with Emily's. I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully it works out better for this Emily.
Are you jealous of the other Emily for making it further?
Am I jealous? No. I'm only jealous of people who are better than me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Kevin. I love watching Kevin. I loved Kevin beating Dylan at beer pong. I think Kevin is actually the like Mountain King, you know, Pure Gint and the Mountain King.
Yeah.
That
should be his music.
That'd be good. That's a good theme for Kevin.
I could just see him like, you know, like prancing around.
I don't think I have a lot more like hot takes, unfortunately. This is a great cast. I could shit on them if I'm in a bad mood, but I'm in a pretty good mood.
Nice. That was still good. We still got some hot takes there.
I have another cast member, or not quite cast member question.
Yeah.
From the Discord. Austin wants to know, why are you so amazing?
Aww.
Well, it's definitely not genetics. Austin, I love you. He's so sweet. Austin is such like a loyal friend. It drove me nuts in season 3. I wanted to hang him from a flagpole for saying Sabu Sabu so much and for naming
Hey, you're wearing Sabu Sabu orange.
Yeah.
I am wearing Omer's shirt.
Yeah, the last
42.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck Sabu Sabu. Austin, thank you. That's all I gotta say.
Didn't you get a picture with Omar wearing that shirt?
I did.
You should
Wait,
throw that up right now.
Throw it up.
On the edit, Sam.
Wait, did you buy? Is he like selling these shirts or something? Is he selling merch?
No, he posted a link on his Twitter with a 15% off discount code during the season, and so I bought it for 15% off. And ever since, like, I wear it to all the like Survivor type events, and someone will recognize it and be like, "Oh, that's cool." And if I wear it otherwise, people are like, "That's a cool shirt." So
yeah,
I like it.
Wow,
I love the things that are for the heads that are like, you know, subtle, you know, that, you know, you can just walk by and not realize it's a reference, and then people in the know are like,
they're like,
tip the hat.
That's why we're all wearing hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that memo.
Mm-hmm. We're paying our respects to Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, or okay. He's not exactly the cast member known for having way too many hats, but
he has
Aaron.
Honestly though, Dylan should be known for that of anybody, because he had a different hat in every single scene in season 3. If you look back, like,
oh really?
Every single episode he has a different hat. Almost every single scene. He probably wore like 30 different hats in season 3.
There are some super fans that are gonna go back and look. I bet you like Jacob K.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
Jacob's got this.
I had a good amount of hats too. We need like a hat counter.
That's true. We do need a hat counter.
We need to start this fashion icon back up. Like, who's been the fashion icon of the season?
I think you're the fashion icon right now, Emily.
Emily, you are of the podcast. I look like a wreck.
I think of the season, it's Bree.
Yes.
That's true. Bree always has her Urban Outfitters like sets and everything.
Bree's fashion goes beyond her clothes. Her entire vibe is integrated within it.
That's true. It's true. It's a whole experience.
She got the food delivered to the challenge. Like, what a vibe.
Told her mother she was pregnant on the phone. I have to go.
Her dad orders her food. That was so funny.
That was so funny. Wait, were you guys able to like immediately tell them that it was false, or did you have to wait till the challenge ended?
They had to wait till the challenge ended.
Oh my gosh. That's tragic.
I lost it. I could not stop laughing during that. Actually, there was a point where I was like crouched on the ground, covering my mouth while Nick was on the phone, because I was like, I am so loud. I was, a little tipsy, but I was cackling. It was just amazing.
The vodka shot was making it better.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, Will actually was like really upset about that. Like, he had a confessional like, oh, like, it's super unfair that like parents got like dragged into this game like unwillingly, and like their days were ruined by the production crew, and because of like the way that the challenge is structured, like you're extremely pressured to like do this challenge.
Will
so like the parents are unnecessarily impacted. I mean, my mom was definitely not happy about it. But
Really?
there's something to be said about like parents, like they didn't ask to be involved in Survivor Michigan. Like, how come their nights had to be ruined by a challenge?
I didn't ask to be born.
Facts.
True.
Facts.
They're the reason why the
Mhm.
players are in the season.
Very
So it wouldn't
true.
even exist. So
True.
By the transitive property of Survivor,
exactly.
it's fair.
In conclusion. Alrighty. Well, do you have any other questions for Emily?
Or any other final like thoughts on your Survivor Michigan experience you want to
Oh
get
my
out there?
God. Survivor Michigan. It's where it all started. My very first Survivor game was Survivor Michigan. I've become addicted to the format and watching it played and seeing how many different ways you can play it. It's so awesome to like get to have been a part of a college Survivor experience. It is such a niche thing that like
niche.
It really is. It plays to like some talents and personality traits that like only psychos have, and here we all are. It's awesome.
Amazing. I'm so glad you played, Emily.
Yeah.
So glad Tom forced you to play.
And I will say, you were Brooke's winner pick before the season. She was devastated.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
love Brooke.
Yeah.
I love Brooke. I stalk Brooke on Instagram. I'm always like,
Brooke is Jack's girlfriend, by the way,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
She's like this like outdoorsy, really sweet, soft, beautiful, like fairy goddess. She's actually going to play Survivor Michigan season 11.
Yeah. She's actually on All Stars 3 with Tom.
All Stars 3 with Tom.
Yeah.
They go to the end.
Yes.
Spoilers.
We'll see it. Please.
And I'll be the boyfriend on production leaking everything to her.
Are you that boyfriend or are you Brian, who's in the fountain helping to look for the idol?
One of the two.
The Brian cameo. That was beautiful.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We love you, Emily. Thanks for
Great talking.
joining.
Thank you. This was a blast.
Hope you had a good time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.